Alright guys, I'm going to show you how you can level up your snare drum by creating some glitchy FX layers using Portal. So, Portal is a great plugin which is currently on sale, and there's a link down below, an affiliate link in case you haven't got it and want to get it. Also, I'm going to be using a little bit of the Space Blender, which is also linked down below, and I'm using a preset from Phaseplant, which is from my latest pack, Prophecy, and it's the Evil Squelchathon, and my preset packs are linked down below. And finally, I'm also using the Ghost Syndicate drum samples, some of my favourite D&B samples for drum hits, and those are also linked down below. Alright, so let's get into it then. So basically, what I want to do is I want to use this kind of bass loop with this just simple drum break here. And I want to create some glitchy effects for the snare drum. Alright? So basically, I've just chopped out the snare drum from the break and I've put it on to a separate channel down below here. Alright? So we just have, oh, I should turn Portal off for a moment. We just have the snare down here. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to basically just run it through a number of different Portal presets to get different sounds. So you can do it while you're listening with the whole beat, like in context, so you can get a bit of an idea if the particular setting will match the kind of vibe. And what you're looking for as well is you're looking for new sounds and textures and timbres. It's not an issue about the timing because you can change that once you render it out to audio, you know? So this has this kind of delayed sound on it, right? But those we can move those around. So we're just listening for the texture and the timbre, if it kind of matches, if we kind of like the direction it's going in. Okay, so that's with the Portal on, and the Space Blender is on below it because basically the Space Blender gives it more of a stereo sound and makes it a bit softer as well. So we can just adjust that quickly in the whole mix. Okay, so that's quite nice. And then what I can do is I can go ahead and bounce out. This is our first glitch FX layer, all right? So we're going to create like 4 different ones. So now we're going to go back to, I'm going to mute that for a moment. I'm going to go back to Portal here, and we're going to use a different setting on Portal now. This time, this one over here is called the triplet. Makes these nice, fast, stutter kind of sounds. So let's go ahead and tweak the Space Blender and give that a slightly different room sound as well. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll bounce that out. So we're just creating, we're doing the resampling, we're creating the sounds and the textures, you know, but we're not worried about the composition so much yet. We're just getting the ingredients, you know. So now we'll do a fourth one. A third one. And this is the Scuttlebugs. And again, it's got these nice, these nice sort of parts that go out of time. Let's give this one a bit more Space Blender, I think. Makes it slightly bigger, you know, gives it more of a bigger room sound. That's nice. We'll bounce that one out. And then once that's done, we can finally just move on to our last one down here, our last instance of Portal. And on this final one down here, I've gone for another sound from a different category. It doesn't really matter which category you choose from on the sides here, because they're all going to be crazy. So the pitch pivot, I think that was on the sound design category over here. Give it a slightly different feeling on the Space Blender again. There you go. Sounds great. Loads of nice textures in there. So we'll get that one bounced out. And then we can close this kind of channel now because we've built all of the sounds already. And now we've got a wonderful, 4 new wonderful glitchy samples with so much content in, so much stuff going on, that we can really, really easily find little bits and bobs that we can use now in the actual track, you know? So one thing is you can just sort of listen to how it is and just listen for those micro moments that are nice. So for example, I really like this part here. It has a really nice, almost sounds like a chomping sound, you know? I could maybe shorten it now again here. So it's sitting on the snare exactly here, you know? I think I quite like the whole length of it there. I can just sort of fade that. I can turn down the channel as well here for this part. So let's get another one involved now. Let's try this one. I like that part there. It's a nice kind of reversed sweeping kind of thing here, you know, so let's just use that perhaps. That's really nice. So we don't have to layer the sounds directly on the snare either. They can also be used as little percussive moments to spice up the whole groove of the drums, you know. You don't want to limit yourself when you're doing stuff like this. You want to just sort of go with the flow of where you can find the groove always, you know. So for this one, I'm thinking if I give it a bit more reverb, it will sound nice. It will have a bit more of a tail on it, you know. Can reverb these special moments a little bit, you know. Okay, now I'll just turn this one down a bit here. Alright, so we got two kind of ideas here, and we could go ahead and copy and paste them over so we get a bit more continuity. So we're doing like a little call and response with them already. Now let's add in the next one and see what we can get out of this one. So it's all about that little triplet vibe there. So they all sound great really. It's just going to be a case of where to use it and how much to use it, you know? So let's, we kind of kept the first two in the actual, you know, timing that they already were. So this time we're going to move this guy around though. Maybe I'll use this shorter one here. Perhaps we can shorten it even more. We've got to just find a nice spot where it enhances the groove a bit. Could be nice there. I think it was quite nice in this section over here, you know? Yeah, you kind of like, it kind of feels like it's part of the beat there, you know? So again, because we're sort of cutting the audio quite sharply, we'll just fade it out and in a little bit as well. That's nice. We can turn it down a little more now as well. So there we have it. That's a nice part in the groove as well now. So let's check out this final one down here. So it's sort of a nice little shuffle kind of vibe that we've got going on. So let's just take one of them again and try and move it around and find a good spot for it. We could maybe do it on that first snare, but we can turn it down a fair bit as well, so it's more in the background, you know. I think that's nice because it's a bit more subtle there, and we can add a tiny bit of reverb, maybe soften the whole sound a little bit more like this. So we've ended up using the glitches, the sort of snare glitches, in a creative way to add sort of vibe to the whole drum group, you know. We haven't been rigid about, you know, having to necessarily micro layer everything on every snare like this. You know, you could take the little, you could also just take little parts out and just like place them over your snare to basically like give the snare a bit more texture and depth. You know, that's something you can do as well, you know. But this way is a little bit more fun because you're sort of able to create a bit more of a narrative in the whole drum group using the kind of glitch sounds. And so that's really nice. So we could group these all together now to give them a little bit of control. I've already put like a little reverb on all of them. Or not, sorry, not on all of them, on some of them. But to kind of further glue them together a bit more, we could put a little dual delay on the whole thing. If I just sort of keep it really, really low in the mix. Turn up the timing a bit here. Now we're able to create cohesion because, as you can hear now, the sound never ends. Like there's always a little bit of that glitchy delay in the background. So that's going to create like a natural cohesion on the whole thing, you know? It's always going to be present in the background of the beat. And we can finally do a touch of compression to sort of level out the volumes, because you can see the files are all very, very different in kind of volume, and they're quite a dynamic mess. So a little compressor, just like getting a bit of needle movement going on here. Keeps things a bit more balanced in the whole kind of volume realm. And there we go. So let's have a little listen. We could also EQ out just a bit in case there's any rumble, so the bass line has a bit more space. So that's lovely, isn't it? Very good for drum and bass, neuro, all that kind of stuff. If you turn off the glitch sound effects that we've made. Definitely not as interesting, is it? So it's these kind of details that provide a little extra creative flair, unpredictability, and all that kind of good stuff in the background of your tracks. And the sort of thing that I always do to provide extra detail in my songs, you know. And how easy was it really? It was just a case of using something like Portal, generating a bunch of different sound effects from the snare drum, and then placing them all in the background, and also, you know, adjusting the timings so that they kind of add to the groove, you know. So yeah, that's my video for today. I hope it was a little helpful video, give you some inspiration, some compositional arrangement ideas, and I do still use Portal. I think it's still a great plugin. So if you want to get it while it's on sale, please make sure you use my link down below. And same with the Space Blender, and same with the Go Syndicate stuff. You will directly be supporting the channel if you grab stuff through my links down below. And thanks to everyone who bought my Phase Plant preset pack Prophecy as well. If you haven't got that, make sure you check it out as well, because there's some great sounds in there. And aside from that, my G's, thanks very much for watching. Leave a like and a comment, and subscribe as well. And check out the other links down below for my mixing and mastering services. You can send me an email, I have a great Patreon community with the Discord. We'll be doing our next feedback live stream on the 21st of November. If you want to take part, then it's a good time to join Patreon now. And also, if you guys ever need one-on-one lessons, you can book me in via my calendar, which is linked down below. All right, that's it for me today. More from me soon. Much love.